Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. Hey, we are doing a live. We'll do a little astro chat here. And yeah, I just thought I'd get on because we've got so much going on. It's a full moon, and recently we've had Mercury go direct, and um, as well as some other planets, right? Jupiter. It's some interesting transits. So I'm going to put you in the bag, you guys, and we're going to talk a little bit about these particular alignments. All right, just doing the bike thing today. So I'm going to just put you in the bag, right? And hopefully you can still hear me. All right. So yeah, let's talk a little bit what's going on from an astrological perspective. Of course, I mean, right at the end of the day, you channel the frequencies consciously. And so that's how I like to look at astrology, not as a passive, dictative sort of measure of your world, but more, the sort of the context to what you may feel at times inspired to manifest with. And the energies that come up, at certain astrological placements and periods, they point to and they reflect, as I see it, and this is just the way I see astrology in general, is your subconscious at any moment in time. And so right now, we've got a lot of planets here in the sign of Libra. We talked about this and how this might be challenging, how it might be difficult um, at this time um, due to different factors. And every season, every day, really, every moment is a different day, is a different moment. We really cannot say that at this time last year that it's the exact same situation astrologically. We really can't say that. And so this is a very particular sort of transit, which is the cool thing about astrology, right? Is that it's always sort of shifting. Um, and, there are things that come up for review. And so if you have trouble so-called with certain transits, it's just a period for further reflection. And sometimes it's a good sign because, it's sort of checking you in. It's sort of like it's a checkpoint. It's a point where you say, okay, wait a second, am I making progress in relation to this particular, storyline? Is this something that I do resonate with? And it sort of is a point of crossroads where we say, well, is that my story? And it's always, this is further what I love about astrology, is that it always brings it back to you. It further reflects the story back to you. Okay, so who am I, right? That's what we're sort of answering here. Now, with the Sun and Mars and Libra, you also want to be aware of your personal propensities because this plays such a role, right? Astrology is not random. Like, the transits are not random. We all have a relationship to the transits. It's hyper personal to us. Almost like a chemical reaction. And so it's almost like, to understand what it is, you have to understand how you feel in relation to it, right? What you make of it ultimately. You really cannot give the same tool to the same 100 people and expect them all to wield it in the same exact way. It's not realistic, right? It depends on the relationship everyone holds with the concept of what even that tool is. So nothing inherently means anything. Nothing inherently holds any particular kind of value. It comes down to how you choose as well, obviously, to channel it. Sure, you can give a car to someone, but if they don't know how to drive, if they don't want to drive, okay, and if they don't choose to drive, then the car will remain in the driveway, right? So this is the concept. It's a moment of invitation to maybe look at what is it that you really want. And if something isn't manifesting, it's not about feeling frustrated. Okay, it's more about asking yourself, well, obviously, right, there's something that I am to create. But what are the factors that I need to acknowledge more so to be able to fully address that? And astrology is a wonderful time to observe, where is it that maybe there are some things that are important, right? And sometimes it's about taking a pause. Yeah. It's about feeling somehow possibly kind of insecure or out of sorts, right? That's part of the checkpoint. And so it's not realistic to think that we would not react to our story ultimately, right? So right now, as we are manifesting, at every moment in time, it's not that, let's say, we're manifesting more so at certain times. No, we're always manifesting, but in every moment projects into the longer term, right? So in other words, there's a reason for everything. Like what we're experiencing now is not just now, it is 6 months ago, especially. We can say in cycles and waves 6 years ago. So every moment is a projectile, a period of time for you to check in with what you're manifesting. And it's a point, it's an opportunity for you to see, what is it that I'm manifesting now? If something is so-called not, and it's important that we have these checkpoints, the full moon and really intense periods astrologically, they point to the story that we are observing more intensely. It's not that it's like a so-called more real time of manifestation, if that does make sense. As above, so below. We can't have the full moon without the new moon. We cannot have the new moon without the full moon, right? And the first quarter stage, second quarter stage between the two. This is just an example, right? Everything is relevant. Everything is important. And every moment is real. So it's relevant within the context of what you're creating. Now, here we are. We've got the sun in Libra, Mars in Libra. Mercury has just gone direct in Libra, but it's been retrograde. And so as we cycle out with Mars and the sun, I really hope you guys can still hear me. Oh well. As we cycle out with Mars and the sun, we're going to get a very sort of strong push. And I'm hearing sort of like a clear idea of what it is that we really want. Every time the sun and Mars, and any planet really, anytime a celestial body decides to step out of one sign and into the next, we begin another phase of how we perceive, of how we are seeing ourselves here ultimately. So manifestation isn't really anything, it's you, right? That's another important point, is that it's not something externalized necessarily. Okay, there are a lot of simultaneous conversations as well happening, and it is ultimately a matter of how you come back to yourself, reflect yourself, and the different sort of so-called periods, the astrological storylines that we see in astrology that come through, they are reflections of the different ways in which you see yourself. This is how I see astrology. So if this is helpful, but getting back to this week, why is this week so particular? And why are we talking about it right now? Well, we've had a lot of generational planets go direct within this last month, right? So, I mean, we did say October's coup. Mercury in general, just having Mercury retro is almost right at times just like really intense. It can be. And so, but again, what comes up even at a Mercury retro is not random. It is a cycle of what has been for years. In this case, it's specifically from 2015. We're looking at the decisions we've made, the directions we moved in, the things that we valued so-called around those times, especially because it's in the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus, we're looking back. We're looking and we're asking ourselves, is that still real for me? Now let's clear the energy and ground, and I want to check if we're literally like still recording. Let me just. Wow, we're still recording. Great. So, yeah, guys. Is this making sense? I'm gonna put you back in the bag though. Yeah. So, but basically, Sun and Mars in Libra are getting very strong. And further, we have that conversation, of course, of deacons and just the fact that, the planets, as they move through signs, it's not like, oh, someone born, sun sign Libra, you got 30 degrees of that sign. So when the planet gets very strong in that sign, and thus the sign gets strong within that planetary lens, we see a shift. We see an intense shift, and it's almost like an orchestra. And so in this case, let's say Mars getting very strong, the sun is getting very strong. These are both fire luminaries, and Libra's air, and the sun and Mars are fire. So there is a little bit of possibly right now. I'm gonna just be honest, and I know some people are, oh my god, why are you shitting on Libra? I'm not. And if you take it like that, then it's probably time to think about why you're on this channel right now and what is the intention that you've got when it comes to working with astrology. But right now, this can be a little irritating because we have, planets that, let's talk about it, right? They're not really that comfortable here. So when they are at that, getting even stronger, comfortable, by the way, or not comfortable is not bad or good or whatever. It's just a particular interaction. But yes, yeah, but it can feel a little irritating. You guys feel free to share your thoughts. How do you feel with, and of course it is always unique and relative. Some people may love certain transits, you guys. Every moment is personal synastry chart with your chart and the chart of now. So this is important to remember, right? And yeah. So, okay, now let's not go. Guys, are we like still here? Oh, wow. Okay. What was the last thing we got? I think that, what is going on? Screen is like switching from like, so, we're moving into, right, these Scorpio seasons, and Scorpio is very different, you guys, in many ways from Libra, right? Scorpio as an energy impulse. It, where Venus wants to preserve, Venus being the ruler of Libra, Venus wants to preserve the statue. I hear it like this. Scorpio has no problem, in a way, destroying the so-called stature of truth in order to bring so-called quote unquote real justice forth. This is just the inclination of Scorpio. Now, obviously, then Sagittarius preceding that can challenge that. And then Capricorn, and then Aquarius, and then Pisces until we reach Aries again, and we move through, the so-called storyline again. And the beauty is that it's all perspectives. but it's just they've got different roles, right? So expect Scorpio to start shedding things, okay? And start, bringing things, and this might be you, it's you with you. It's like, oh my gosh, like suddenly I feel like I just don't give a shit anymore about these things. I don't know, guys. Look at where you've got Scorpio in your birth chart. Okay, you may get just like kind of like just brash at a certain point, like not wanting to make excuses anymore. This is, yeah, you know, and so that's why we want to have like an eye open with the transits to come, because as well, right? It's a build up point. As we move into the Sun in Scorp and Mars in Scorp, we're looking more at as well what we've been experiencing, and we had that Venus in Scorp not too long ago, simultaneous to the Sun and Mars and Mercury in retro in Libra. So it's kind of like we're looking at like the lineage of Scorpio to this point. Scorpio is maybe a little irritated, and it's been a while since we really had a good dose, so-called, of water energies. So just be aware that, especially those of you who do have a lot of Scorpio, there could be this feeling of like you feel almost like you're suppressing something. It's like you feel like there's a part of you or there's something that you just don't have an outlet for. Personally, I feel this way. I feel like something is like almost not realistic. Like there's, yeah, and I mean, this is me talking as someone who, I'm very platonic. I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart in general. Relatively, it's all relative. But and I don't have that much Libra. I do have a bit of air, yeah, but not really, unless you're looking at Vedic. I'm actually rising Libra. But anyways, I don't have direct Libra planets. Libra actually, yeah, I have obviously Libra. Everybody does, and we actually challenge this notion of like, if you don't have planets, are we zooming? If you don't have planets, like, does it mean that you don't have that energy? Like, we're talking about the inverse birth chart. Sorry, guys, it's a little bit like zoomed in one, zoomed in, and also kind of bumpy. So, thank you for your donation. I don't quite see who it is, but thank you, very, very kind. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support here. You know what, you guys? What I'm gonna do? Give me a sec. There we are. It's a little better there. And then I'm just going to put you right here. There we are. So, okay, hopefully that doesn't go flying. Yeah, so what were we saying? Thank you for your donation again, whoever that was. Thank you for that. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Oh, this is gonna, hold on, it's gonna fall a little bit. Wait, gotta put it on both. All right. Yeah, so this is just me personally. I'm sharing like how I am interacting as well with the energies, and I'm obviously channeling. Why does this thing keep popping off? Hold on. All right. Yeah, so we are though, yeah, so we're about to really step into a whole new kind of wave. And depending on where you're at with the cycle, that can be like kind of like a little spooky, or it can be kind of like I can't wait, or it can be kind of like, and it'll be interesting. We'll see how we end up feeling with those transits. Of course, everything is always as we make it, but we'll see what, what is what. But Pluto is really a very intense energy, and we're gonna, I feel, want to be more kind of maybe in some ways reactive with Mars in Scorpio. Jesus, sorry guys, it's very bumpy. Um, we may find that we want to be more. I mean, Scorpio is not inherently impulsive. Actually, Scorpio is quite meditative, premeditative. Scorpio energy likes to also feel prepared. It doesn't really like situations that set them in sort of unknown grounds where you feel like you're just on the spot kind of vibe. They like to do that to others. They like to see how people react under, those kinds of circumstances. They love to see the shock on other people's faces because it makes them feel like they're understanding the reality of the situation, you know? And then they feel it's like more real, more authentic response. And again, Scorpio, yeah, wants to get down to it. Scorpio doesn't like the fluff, doesn't like the doofus. Okay, sorry guys. I did look. Maybe you should slow down. Bike rage. I'm telling you guys, get ready for Scorpio season, okay? And doofus, he's got a straight road ahead, okay? You need to be looking as well. I was looking. I know you're far enough. You got brakes, bro. Use them. Dumb fuck. Oh my god, sorry guys. Yeah, but hey, look, I'm sorry. This is gonna be kind of like what we're looking at, okay? Okay, dude's trying to be all passive aggressive. Please turn before you look before you turn. Oh, really? Really? Oh, like those rules don't apply to you either. Like, well, you got the right of road, you got the right of way to just keep on your way all the way up, all the way through. Really? Where's your name on the side of the road? I don't see it, my friend. Jesus. Some people just want to tell people what to do, you know? He wants to feel he's like teaching people how to use like the road, please. Wait, guys, I'm gonna plug the bike in 1 second. Yeah, so and well, this can be the Pluto energy. Just be aware that this is this is not Mars and Libra, guys. This is because we're channeling, and these energies come through reflectively. Like I see. The dude straight up wants like a megaphone. He wants to like literally throw like a community town hall event like on the fucking road, talking about how people should use bikes. No, you come back here, okay? You use your brakes too. Why don't you use your brakes? He wants to own the road. Excuse me. What the hell? God. Bike race. And he's like, I'm like, who is this mouse? He sounds like a hamster from like miles away. I just like hear like a faint voice, like, what are you saying? That's how far you are away, and you're like not even shouting, like, hello. Like if you're so concerned about people making turns, why don't you slow down before you enter into a crossroaded street? And I was fully ahead of him. He just didn't like that I got ahead. It's okay, Pookie. Just chill. God. Anyways. Get ready, guys. Mars and Scorpio season. Yeah. So, God. Yeah, I can go on and on. He sees other people coming in the same direction. It's a two-way road. They're literally like there were two bikers who were coming in. If he didn't slow down, he would have gone straight into them. So what you gonna do then, huh? What are you gonna tell the plants on the side of the road as well to behave? What the fuck? Boy needs like a check. Yeah, and then as he's riding by, he's literally like, anyways. No, it's his Venus and Sag moment. He thinks he's real hot. It's okay. I'll tell you, I think he's got like some Scorpio overlapping with Sagittarius. He's got this like libido frustration going on right now, most likely. No, I just feel it. I'm telling you. Well, if we see him again, we'll let him know what's going on astrologically. Yeah, but with because Venus right now is in Sag, and so yeah, it's okay. Break him down. I'll break him down from A to Z. He feels like he doesn't have a voice. He needs to use his megaphone on the bike road. But he didn't even like. Yo, people, if they truly feel there's a concern, they shout. Okay, they shout. Use your bike bell if you got one. Use your. And no, he just came mouse to my. You need to look before you turn on the road. It's like, who are you whispering to? Love and light, I'm having a moment. But this is no, you guys. This is channeling. We were just talking about Mars going into Scorpio, okay, and needing to call shit out, and um, yeah. So Mars and Scorpio can get kind of possessive though, like he was getting with the road, like and you don't own the road, bro. And maybe this is where people may start kind of that side of them may start coming out, you know, for better or for so-called worse, like our possess. If you already got possessive frequencies, yeah, they can get kind of a little more intense. Can't get over it. Dude thinks he's like he's setting a town hall event, philanthropy 101 on the road. Not with that mouse falsetto situation. You got 11 light. I don't know. It's also full moon in Aries. I'll let him slide. But yeah, so Julie says most people do not like it when I call shit out. It usually stings a bit, even when diplomatically delivered. Oh, yeah. So yeah, so this is going to be a time where it can be kind of like a rude awakening, but it's ultimately also is that him? No, okay. Ow, my hair's gonna go. Oh my god, ow, ow. Oh my god, ow. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Ah, One second. I'm sorry, guys. I just gotta pull my hair out of the loop of the purse. Yeah, but expect maybe even with yourself, like heads up, that you might start feeling like, you know, kind of like it's more important to call things out and you're shocking yourself, like, oh my god, why am I reacting like this? But it's a buildup as well, it can be from years. Um, like if I see that guy again, and he wants to say something, oh god, god. Keep riding on, Sketcher prep robo reptilian. Okay, I gotta just check out now. Yeah, Sketcher. He's just like only like the left sneaker at this point. Left and right. Clear at. Who's riding your bike? I don't see you even on it. I just heard a little hamster. The hamster can't be wearing those shoes. Those shoes right there. I gotta stop. All right, but anyways, this is like, you guys, like, and listen, this is the Scorpio. Scorpio is insistent. When Scorpio gets hooked on something, you don't really want to piss a Scorpio off. Okay, they don't forget. They don't forget. All right, they'll remember. Okay, they'll remember the way your Skechers light up. Oh my god. Oh yeah, no, you better believe it. I remember the little logo insignia. Okay, yeah, you can whisper, but you can't hide. Anyways, but I mean, try to also keep it lighthearted as much as you can, as this is like this is gonna be an intense Scorpio season. Why Spirit has us preparing for this so far in advance, you know, can be. Um, um, yeah, but just have an outlet, right? To and go in kind of with the mentality of, we're gonna talk more about this as we are more in Scorpio season, because I feel like we're gonna be having some astro talks, but yeah. If you're having like, if you know something's gonna be volatile, like I would possibly wait. It depends. Okay, it really depends. If you want to call something out, like, and you really, then maybe Scorpio season, it would be a great time. Go for it, jingle jangle. Yeah, and so, but Sag season might be interesting for calling stuff out, because Sag season is going to be, it's kind of similar to Scorpio. Like, Sag has these visceral sort of passions, you know, and but there is a sort of a different way of examining it and extrapolating it, actually more so. So if you are thinking about especially calling something out in a public way, maybe wait until Mars enters Sag, the Sun enters Sag. And this is not to like be like, oh, like astrology should control you, but more like confirm what you're feeling already. Like if you're feeling guided to plan towards a certain project, right? Always, you should heed your personal intuition. And if you feel like, you know, you want to call something out, you need obviously live your life. Don't let astrology, you know, so-called control you. Like, but yeah. And so, yeah, Sketcher, we're in Town Hall, hamster of a full moon in Aries, shadow playa. That's cleared and ground. You know what I'm telling you? No, says Scorpio. Listen, Scorpio will bring shit up from like years ago. You can expect people from Scorpio season 2015. Wow, that guy looks exactly like. I wish I could film him, but it's weird in public. I'm not gonna be filming strangers. But he looked just like the Fool in the Fool card. He was walking like just like the Fool in the Fool card. He was walking like that. Interesting, looking out. Anyways, but yeah, you could be expecting people may come back. Like the thing about Scorpio is you never know what really actually they're thinking, because it is a little bit of a repressive energy. Um, and repressive energy. So people may hold, you know, they may. Here's the thing: Scorpio is also very intense the way that it feels things. So it's a naturally more sensitive energy. It absorbs more. It remembers more than, you know. Like some people would let, you know, certain things that most people would let slide. Well, we'll say most. Like, you know, some, if you're not really a plutonic, how do we say it? Things that some people would let go, Scorpio would remember, and they would, you know, and so yeah, and they would take it to heart, and they may bring it up like years later. It's like, what the fuck? I didn't know you felt that way. You know? I didn't know. I didn't know it was so important to you, you know? That I finish all the salsa in the fridge as well. It's like, no, like Scorpio remembers these things, like, and they can, and they can take them to heart, but they may not directly communicate it. Oh, I'm seeing like a shape of something that looks like a duck, like, you know, a little wading duck, like in the river or ponds or whatever. So yeah, so you want to be aware of that as well. Maybe, you know, people are going to be triggered around that time. Yeah. Yeah. So hocus pocus pajama wearing sketcher brand representative. Bring your microphone next time, and all those little mantras on your scroll. but love and light. You know, people have their experiences, and people also who want to make a big deal out of like little shit, and like it's all the way you go about it. You know, like he could have been really polite or whatever. I mean, no judgment. I don't want to judge anybody, but this is an example. Like if someone is experiencing something, right? We don't know what he was feeling, whatever. You know, they're not. It's about how they're channeling their energy, and ultimately, if someone's being mean or whatever, or frustrated in their own life, there's something they're not doing for themselves, right? That doesn't mean that you should take their shit at all. No way. Okay, which is why I'm blasting him. Yeah, one second, guys. These people are like. So yeah. So you know, to try to have like understanding or compassion in the sense of saying like, from the broader spectrum, like if someone's gonna try and be bossy to you, you know, tell you like the so-called like rules of the road and like all this shit, like you know, it's trying to be like judgmental and like rude. I mean, maybe it's a different perspective, okay? But if you feel that, they don't feel really like they have a proper outlet for that. They're not in control of how they're channeling their frequencies. Can be, so they get kind of like weird with people in situations that don't really so-called deserve it. You know, in a way, it can be. I'm talking in general, like. So just be aware of that. You know, people who don't. You know, it's also the notion of people who are happy, they want to make people happy. People who are not happy, they, you know, hurt people, etc. So trying to just keep an open mind with people and what is coming up now, because it can be rather intense, right? With all of these, like not everyone is also aware of astrology. And so people can, and not a lot of people are, not many people are going to be more aware of, you know, like they're not going to most likely be like, oh shit, I'm having a Pluto streak, you know? So unless you're hanging out with a lot of really self-aware people who are really wanting to concentrate on their development, self-development, these things, especially from an esoteric approach. So yeah, but in general, so just know that, you know, people may be acting kind of, and it doesn't mean really necessarily something about you, right? And I see it as a proper experience to also understand and further study the archetypes. So yeah, you guys, this was fun. I hope you guys are all enjoying the last few days of the sun in Libra with. Ooh, I feel something's like biting me. It's like poking me in my sock. Whoa, what the hell is that? Maybe it's like a stick. What in the world is that? Is that like a bug? Okay, anyway, so yeah, so still kind of feel. Ow, yeah, I feel it. I think it's like a stick. Oh yeah, it's a stick. All right, so enjoy these last few days, you guys, and you can expect yourself to be maybe a lot more sensitive around Scorpio season, and I'm seeing 444 here, and be expecting, you know, to pay attention to details that you would have otherwise glazed over. And yeah, true, like Libra does look at so-called details as well. It looks at the left, so-called, and the right, and the symmetry. But Scorpio looks at details as well from a different standpoint. So it's just going to be another angle. Scorpio is very, very introspective, very much sort of, again, penetrative, wants to really understand things as well. And it can almost be an obsessive energy at times. So just keep in mind that, you know, if you're working on a project right now, like, you know, there could be other sort of perspectives that you take on in relation to it when it comes to developing the work. So also I'm getting here that boundaries are very important, and naturally around certain seasons, there might be certain archetypes here that you come across actually more often than not. And if you're coming across people who have an undeveloped Scorpio Pluto energy, you just want to be aware and know how to handle that and deal with that. Have Scorpio season will though help you equip yourself with ways of working with these archetypes. So, and that's the beauty of the cycles again, because we learn about each cycle. We learn about, and it's all gaining that sort of 360-degree perspective. So you guys, thank you for tuning in.